हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, गुड मॉर्निंग। आप सब लोग बिल्कुल ठीक होंगे। आई फील सो। Many students have told me कि सर आप इंग्लिश में पढ़ाने के साथ हिंदी के भी कुछ वर्ड्स का यूज़ कर दें तो हम लोगों को बहुत ही सहूलियत और बहुत ही अच्छा फील करेंगे। तो स्टूडेंट्स, I have decided to use some Hindi words also while explaining the poem or while explaining grammatical topics or any other topics. I hope you would be agree with me. Now, my today's class starts with Ozymandias poem, and this very poem has been written by Percy B.C. Shelley, and as per previous classes, I would like to discuss first of all that is the what is the theme of the poem. And before telling anything about this very poem that is Ozymandias, students, you must know that once upon a time he was a very powerful king. But after the demise and the death of that very powerful king, only a statue remains. And what is the condition of his or her statue? That is what the poet has described here. So the poem highlights the temporary nature of power, and it's the temporary nature of power, pride, and human achievements. It is quite known that power, pride, and human achievements are not permanent. It shows that no matter how powerful a ruler may be, but time eventually destroys everything. समय हर चीज को नष्ट कर देता है, और one should not be proud of his power, pride, and human achievements. Nature and time are stronger than human pride, and this is the gist of the poem. Nature and time are stronger than human pride. Now, students, you can be asked कि what is the poet's message? So listen to me. P.B. Shelley conveys that pride and arrogance do not last forever. हठ धर्मिता कि I am powerful, everybody is inferior to me, that is the arrogance. So he speaks here कि pride and arrogance do not last forever. Wealth, power, and fame are completely temporary. Time is the greatest force that destroys all human achievements. Once again, I am repeating this point. Time is the greatest force that destroys all human achievements. Leaders should be humble. Not only leaders, the human beings should also be humble because even the mightiest rulers are forgotten with time. And ravages of time destroy each and everything. So, that is achievements, human achievements, pride, or that is the power. They are completely temporary. And what is very important, and that is the time factor. Ravages of time destroy each and everything. So one should not be proud of. Now I am going to discuss the brief summary of this poem. That the poet meets a traveler who tells him about a ruined statue. There was a ruined statue standing in a vast desert. The statue once belonged to Ozymandias, a powerful king. Only the broken legs, shattered face, and pedestal remain. Remaining parts were already broken. On the pedestal, the king proudly declares himself the greatest ruler and challenges others to look at his work and despair. Disappointment, despair, hopelessness. Ironically, nothing of his kingdom remains because ravages of time that is has have already destroyed, diminished each and everything. Around the ruins there is only endless sand. Through this contrast, Shelley shows the futility of pride and the inevitable passage of time. So, once again, I would like to advise you and everyone, and this very poem gives us the lesson and the message that one should not be proud of his achievements, his power, or his dignity, or that is the uh, any type of pride, because time factor is very important, my dear. Now, many students have suggested eh, that the difficult word meanings and the meanings of the phrases used by the poet or the author should also be discussed in English as well as Hindi if possible. So, antique land. Antique land, that is ancient country, Prachin Desh. Why this? It stands for face, chehra, frown, angry expression, wrinkled lip, that is mocking smile, a sculpture, person who makes statues, and stamped, imprinted or carved. Pedestal, that is base of a statue. Mighty, powerful rulers. Decay, gradual destruction. Slowly and slowly, that the statue or any such thing is getting decayed or destroyed. Colossal, that is huge or gigantic. Vishal, boundless, endless. Bare, empty. Now I am going to explain stanza wise, and that is very important. I met a traveler from an antique land. Line number 1 to 5. So, in these lines, what does the poet speak? The poet says that he met a traveler who came from an ancient land. The traveler described a ruined statue standing in the desert. सैंड पे बालू की भीप पे वो खड़ा था. Only two huge stone legs remain standing, while the face of the statue lies broken on the ground nearby. और ठीक उससे सटा हुआ, that is, face of the statue was lying broken on the ground. In line number 6 to 8, the poet speaks. The line is, half sunk a satyr vises lies. And dot dot. The broken face shows a frown, a wrinkled lip, and a proud mocking expression. Mocking expression. The sculpture had skillfully captured the king's arrogant personality in a stone. उस बालू की भीप पे भी स्कल्पचर ने उसके पर्सनैलिटीज को रिफ्लेक्ट कर दिया है. एंड क्रेडिट गोज टू द स्कल्पचर. So it means that the great statue has been destroyed by time. As I told you, the ravages of time never spare anything. And the broken face shows a frown, a wrinkled lip, and a proud, mocking expression. The sculpture had, that is, skillfully captured the king's arrogant personality in stone. Just now I explained it. So, these lines clearly express that the king was proud, harsh, and arrogant. Lines 9 to 11. And on the pedestal, these words appear. So the pedestal bears an inscription. Inscription. My name is Ozymandias, जिसपे कुछ लिखा हुआ था, printed था. King of kings, look on my works, a mighty and despair. The king proudly boasts that. The king proudly exaggerates. What is exaggerate? जब हम किसी भी चीज को इतना ज्यादा बढ़ा चढ़ा के कहते हैं तो that is the exaggeration, that is the boasting. So the king here also proudly boasts that he is the greatest ruler and that other powerful rulers should feel inferior when they see his achievements. जब वो अपने अचीवमेंट्स के साथ खड़ा होता है तो दूसरे रूलर्स कहीं भी उसके सामने नहीं ठहरते. What does this mean? It means that he is boasting upon. his power, his achievements, his pride. So, Ozymandias was extremely proud of his power and greatness. Now, lines number 12 to 14. Nothing beside remains. The traveler says that nothing of the king's kingdom remains. किंग्स के किंगडम में अब कुछ भी नहीं बचा because ravages of time already destroyed each and everything, my dear. Around the ruined statue stretches only a vast empty desert. Time has destroyed all traces of his greatness. उसके ग्रेटनेस के सारे प्रूफ्स को, सारे प्रमाण को मिटा दिया है. इट मीन्स कि ह्यूमन पावर एंड अचीवमेंट्स आर टेम्पररी while time lasts forever. Now, some important literary devices, that is, the poet has used irony. The king boasts about his greatness, but nothing of his empire survives. This line indicates the irony. Imagery, that is, the ruined statue and endless desert create a vivid picture. Symbolism, the broken statue symbolizes the fall of power and pride. Alliteration, boundless and bare. तो I think that is, in any respect, in all the respect, power, vanity, pride, and achievements, they are casual, they are completely temporary. And so the poet wants to tell everyone that one should not be proud of. So, my dear, I do hope all of you have understood this poem, because I have used some Hindi terms also. And if you are fully satisfied, then do like, share, comment, and subscribe to it. Thank you all.